Good evening to you all. Welcome back to another installment of Late Night with Uncle Fran. Before we get into the show, I'd like to start this episode off with a PSA to our audience. A few weeks ago, when my good friend Bert and I were discussing our pet bird, Patricia, you would notice we fluctuated between the pronouns he, her, and she, him. We got so many comments asking, Bert, Fran, why are you misgendering Patricia constantly? What a small minded audience you are. Did you not realize that our dead pet bird Patricia is gender fluid? Are you kidding me right now? In this day and age, you didn't get that from the get go. So, this is Patricia, pronouns any, all, and you're going to have to deal with that. Alrighty, let's get into the letters for today. This week's theme is Help with My Homework. Alrighty, our first letter here is from Stevie, South Dakota, and he's in the 12th grade. He writes, Dear Uncle Fran, this week for my history class, we were tasked with writing an essay about a veteran's first-hand experience in combat. I am a big fan of the show, and I hear you and your good friend Bert talk often about your time in the jungles of Vietnam. I was wondering if you could share some of your stories with me, and I could write them in my essay to impress my class. What do you think, Uncle Fran? Can you tell me a story or two? Signed, Stephen. Well, hello, little Stevie. I love talking about my time in Vietnam, as does my good friend Bert. I'm happy to share a story with you. Bert and I were drafted into the Vietnam War when we were in our late 20s. We didn't know each other beforehand, but we ended up on the same unit and became fast friends. Back then, if you can believe it, Bert was a bit of a normal guy. He had normal tendencies, and in fact, he was thinking of starting a family with the woman he was dating at the time. Bert and I did not see much combat in the beginning few weeks, We were tasked with scouting the jungle and seeing if we could spot Charlie anywhere. And, we would just walk in the jungle, smoke some cigarettes, and discuss life back home, get to know each other real well. That's how we became such good friends. One day we were walking in the jungle and we saw a little camp about yay over there. And, well, we approached softly and we got close, and sure enough, it was Charlie. A couple of them lounging here and there, a couple polishing their M16s, and, well, Bert and I were too far to radio back to our unit, so we gave each other a look we've only shared 2 or 3 times in our life, and that's non-existent for your generation. It's a look that says, let's do what we need to do. That was the first time I tasted blood, little Stevie, and Bert and I tore through that camp and did unspeakable things to those people. We made our unit proud, that's for sure, and, well, that little camp, they never came back to bother us. Bert's never been the same since that day. One of those foreigners, they took a shot at him and it grazed the side of his head. I carried him back to our unit. He was bleeding out in my arms, but they stitched him up. But our conversations after that were quite different, and, well, you see how he is now. Bert and I did our duty that day. I won't tell you how many men we killed, but I will tell you how many children we orphaned. 17. All right, well, hopefully there's enough in that you can write a decent paper. I hope you get an A+, little Stevie. Good luck, and God bless. Alrighty, next up we have Bella, age 7. She has a math question. Dear Uncle Fran, what is 100 minus 32? Signed, Bella. Well, hello, little Bella. Math is quite my strong suit, and I'm really good at subtraction, so let me give you a word problem. Those usually help the children. Imagine 100 little bunny rabbits grazing grass in a field, having the time of their lives. Over the hill come some coyotes. They come running down and they ravage through the rabbits. They rip their heads off and make them bleed. Now, 32 of these rabbits lose their life to the coyotes, but the rest of them, they scurry away. They find an underground hole that they burrow themselves into and hold out overnight for this hellish nightmare to end. Picture that hole, little Bella. Can you count the rabbits? I can. 1, 2, 3, 68. There's your answer, Bella. I hope that image helped you with your math. Good luck and God bless. Okay, well, finally we have Julia. She's in the 6th grade and she lives in the state of Ohio. Dear Uncle Fran, I am so disappointed in myself this week. I received the first C of my life. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what to tell my parents. They have such high hopes for me. How can I get back on track, Uncle Fran? I don't want to make this C a habit. Signed, Julia. Well, hello, little nerdy Julia. A C? Really? You're fine. When I was a boy, I averaged a C minus or D plus on every test I had. I would come home with a math worksheet in my hand. I would say, Mama, Papa, I got another D plus on my math assignment. And they say, Fran, you know what to do. And I'd solemnly nod my head because I knew it was time for the belt. Julia, parents are different nowadays. I'm sure if you tell your parents that you got a C, they'll be so understanding. In fact, they will be proud of you for broadening your horizons or whatever bullshit parents tell their kids these days. I don't think you have anything to worry about, little Julia. But if you'd like some extra motivation, you can sign up for my program, and if you get another C or lower, then I'll drive over to your house and beat you myself. Hopefully that motivates you, little Julia. Good luck and God bless. Okay, well, now it's time to check in with my good friend, Bert. Alrighty, live and back in action from his beautiful basement, we have the man-child Bert.
Hi, Fran.
How are you doing, Bert?
I'm good, Fran. How are you?
I am doing tremendously.
Good to hear.
Bert, how's house arrest going?
It's good. I mean, I keep on refilling my ultimate juice, and that's good. So that's keeping me going.
Of course.
Yeah.
Must be nice to have Patricia back at home where she belongs.
Patricia, she's so sweet.
Bert, it's got to be a little tough, though, being all cooped up in your house all day. You must want to get outside and go run a couple laps, take that ultimate juice energy and go burn it off somewhere, fight an orphan or something.
Well, I did that last week, and that wasn't great, but
Okay.
yes, I agree.
Yes, you must want to get out of the house. I bet as soon as this house arrest is up, you're going to take a nice long vacation. When is the last time that you were on vacation, Bert? It's the last time you took a trip.
What year is it?
Currently?
Yeah.
It's 2025. Yes, almost over.
Almost 6 years ago. Yeah. So 5 and like 3/4. Yeah.
5 and 3. Wow, so you must have gotten out right in time, right before COVID hit, huh?
Yeah. So, well, it was before COVID. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yes, it must have been.
yeah,
Kind of shut everything down. It's like everyone was on house arrest, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Listen to me rambling on about those dark times. We don't need to talk about that. Let's hear more about your vacation, Bert. Where did you go?
Well, actually, funny enough, I went to China.
Really?
Yeah,
Right before. Interesting.
I lived there for a little bit. It was the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. I spent some time there. Yeah.
Interesting. Where did you live in China?
It was like a fishing town. It was called like Wuhan or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so Bert, what were you doing in this town? Wait, was it Wuhan, Bert?
Some people pronounce it different ways. Yeah.
All right. It's probably just a weird coincidence. What were you doing in Wuhan or Wuhan or wherever you were?
We were myself and some of my friends. We were on a religious retreat, you know, and we were there just to be at peace and discover what we're truly meant to be. Yeah. So we're sitting there and we did all sorts of activities. We swam in pools. We we learned how to fish, and we learned like the culture there and some of their habits and what they did, traditions. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so then we ended up, they showed us the entire town. They even had some labs there. You name it. Yeah. Yeah. So
Lab, like science labs.
well, yeah. So then they ended up they showed us one of the things, one of the features in this religious retreat. They showed us um, a tour of one of the labs. So we're all walking, and they're like, okay, this area classified, you cannot go in it. I went in it.
Oh boy. What did you find in there, Bert?
Everyone had these like alien suits on. I was like, wow, I'm not dressing up. What is this, Halloween? So I ended up just walking through, and they were showing me like the microscopes, and I couldn't see one. There was one that I couldn't see. Like the rest of them, I was able to see, and there was one I couldn't see. So I held it close, and I was like, right here. Yeah, and I was able to see it. So that was good. It's just through a microscope. I couldn't see much, but whatever was on it though wasn't on it anymore. So I don't really know what happened there.
Okay. Bert, I don't know if this is a crazy stretch, and maybe I'm just paranoid after being your friend of 60 odd years, but are you telling me that there's a non zero chance that you started the coronavirus outbreak?
Hush posh. No, no. I was simply involving myself in the research in the country, and so one of the last days we ended up going to this market. It was with the whole like it was pretty cool. They had the whole community. They all went to this market, and for some reason after that lab, I kept on sneezing. Fran. I was, but whatever. I was holding it in, and so whatever. Um, I kept on walking through the aisles of the market, and then eventually one little sneeze, it like hit a tingle on my nose, and I just yeah, whatever. I walked away. It was like nobody went to this section. It was the bat section. Okay, nobody's gonna walk there, and so I walked away, and then eventually we're all leaving. We're going back to the hotel, and one of the guys, he was he was like deathly sick. It was I don't know where it came from, and so then there was everybody was asking like what happened, and it just so happens he brought home a bat. I was like, what? That's that guy's fault. Who eats a bat?
Bert, was this the bat that you sneezed on?
It may not have been, but okay. What's this with the interrogation?
Bert, it sounds like you gave this guy coronavirus. In fact, it sounds like you were patient zero and he was patient one.
Well, what's funny about that is that
What's that, Bert?
he so everybody else they went home, and he ended up staying in the Chinese house. What are you doing, Fran?
No, nothing. You just carry on.
So he ended up staying in China, and apparently he died like a couple days later. And
That is not surprising to me, Bert. You gave him a deadly disease.
now he gave himself a deadly disease. He ate a bat, and we can all blame him as the cause of that terrible disease.
Well, I no longer feel safe in this house. I'm probably going to go home and bleach everything I'm wearing, probably burn it, to be honest with you. And Bert, I don't know if I'll be back here, to be honest.
How can you say that, Fran? I thought we had something special.
You have something special. Even those doctors in Wuhan couldn't put a label on it.
It's Wuhan.
I knew it was Wuhan, you lying bastard. Alrighty, well, join us next week. Hopefully, I'm not ill or dying. Hopefully, Bert has some more common courtesy in his life.